And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Kasarian, and welcome back to Space Engineers. So right now, we are actually doing a fair bit of work down here. Oh, hold on. Come on, computer. You want to cooperate with me today? No, maybe. Maybe. Okay. So what we're doing today is we are working on the frigate again. And what we're doing is we're actually changing up our weapons load, because we're switching over to these large ship railguns, which are a new weapon system from a mod, which I will hopefully remember to link in the description, though kind of a don't count on it sort of a moment. And what we're going to be doing is re-engineering this ship, because I think these railguns are going to be much more effective than missiles. All right, I think that's just going to be how it is. And gosh, those things are heavy. Jeez. And in the background, you can hear my computer going absolutely bloody insane. It's going, what are you doing? Okay. I'm stuck. I got stuck in the jaws of the launcher. Okay. So what I think we're going to be doing as well is we're actually going to be restructuring how the ship is set up. Okay. So instead of doing a triple deck gun system, I think we're going to go for a single gun platform. With some alterations, maybe. And what do I mean by alterations? Well, what I mean is that basically, we're going to be putting in the middle of this, first of all, some more firepower. All right. So we're going to be putting some turrets in the side batteries, defensive turrets, Gatling cannons, Gatling turrets, that sort of thing. I don't want to go, full bore crazy and do something kind of nutty with, like maybe have a turret there and that sort of thing. But we're also actually going to be pushing out the wall, the hull sides, because I don't like how these stick out. And I think what we're going to do, and this is still kind of something I'm working on in the back of my head here, is I think we're going to be pushing the sides out a little bit. And that'll enable us, we'll go to a 3 thick armor platform. And that'll let us do just a little bit, some more things with that, rather than, wow, I'm having trouble speaking today. I'm having a lot of trouble speaking today. We're going to go for sort of a more, a bit of a wider build with this ship, because she's a little narrow, actually. For what I want to be doing with her, she's just a little on the narrow side. So I think it'll be good for us to kind of push her hull out a little bit, widen her out. It'll give her something more of a blunt bow sort of look. And the missile launcher removal, I don't like missiles, actually. I don't like using missiles in Space Engineers. They are kind of a metric pain in the rear end to work with, because they have a nasty habit of detonating on you in weird places. So we're actually going to be surrounding a lot of these midsections in a fair bit of armor. I don't want the guns to be exposed, because that seems like a terrible idea. But at the same time, I don't want the ship to be too heavy. So we'll go for a 3 thick armor platform. That'll give us some more space on the inside of the ship as well. And we'll be adding in some missiles or some launcher batteries. So let's see. This is too thick right now, right? And these need to go out by 2 more blocks, correct? I think so. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, that's what we want to do. So we're going to have to strip 1 layer of the armor from the inside of the ship. And that's going to take quite a bit of resources, actually. There we go. Well, quite a bit of time. Oh, no, she's 1 thick. Is she? She's 1 thick in some places with a backing of light armor. Okay, that's what I did. Okay, that makes sense. That's right. I did the backing of light armor to save on weight. I love how these batteries look on the inside. How the big railguns look. They're just beefier and nicer, honestly, than the small guns. You know, than the missile launchers. Now I'm probably gonna still use missile launchers in the bow battery because honestly, it's a bit difficult to work with. Just the space concern. Well, I guess I could because the way they are structured. I guess I could do that. And let's get this out of the way. Yeah, and that's where the heavy armor block starts. Alright, so let's remove this. And we're almost done on this side of the ship. Whoa, gosh. All right, jetpack, 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 jetpack. And there we go. And I think what we'll do... All right, so let's get this taken out. Remove these rocket launchers that we're not going to use. And, of course, I dropped stuff. All right, that's fine. We can drop some stuff off over here. We'll pick that up from the inside in a bit. Get that out of the way. And that goes away. And the main thing is, I want the ship still to be kind of, you know, vaguely maneuverable. Vaguely maneuverable. Emphasis on the vaguely. I mean, it's not overly important if she's a little slow on the turn. Because, you know, okay, she's a heavily armored warship, you know, what do you want? Alright, so... Now, I'm just hoping we don't have issues with the railguns being kind of surrounded, encapsulated, basically. Yoink. There we go. I'm hoping we don't have issues pop up with that. If we do, well, we do. Basically, that's the point. If we have issues with it, we have issues with it. There's not much we can do about it. And why don't you want to connect either? Like, seriously, you should be fine. Oh, because the welder isn't finished. Duh. Okay. I need 5 small steel tubes for it. Oh. Duh. Okay, fine. I'm like, I had a bit of an accident, and she decided to just kind of fall apart on me, and I'm like, why aren't you cooperating? There we go. All right, now she's working. All right, so let's get her armored up, shall we? Actually, we'll just go layer by layer here. If you notice, I'm going with a black and white paint scheme because I love my old Age of Sail ships. Yes, that is actually the main reason. Okay, so we'll be putting... We'll leave the holes there for right now because I'm not certain yet where I'll be sticking those gun batteries. So let's get into this baby. And we'll just zip over. Actually, let's go to V-look. Okay, good. We are not going to hit the other boat. Now, part of this is me figuring out what the armor package is actually going to look like. And 3 thick hull armor on the broadside should do a pretty good job at keeping her in one piece. At least I hope it will. If it doesn't, well, then we have to have a discussion with the armor designers about giving us better armor. Ugh. Or shields or something. Okay. There we go. All right, so now let's do 1 more layer worth of this stuff. And that'll keep that nice and encapsulated. And then what I think I'm going to do... Well, let's see something here. All right. G. All right, so it's a 3x3, so we can't just stick it right there and call it a day. That's unfortunate. So we'll have to stick the Gatling turrets then on the top, maybe, or sacrifice one of our forward guns up here. We could do that. We could sack a forward gun for it. Not that I'm happy with the idea of sacrificing our broadside armaments for point defense, but unless we put the point defense somewhere else. This is going to have a pretty long range. And I'm not overly worried about this ship. You know, this ship's really meant more to be a heavy combatant sort of a thing. We can always escort her with small ships, you know, ships with better point defense. Or maybe a lower develop quote unquote a lower profile Gatling cannon. Okay, there we go. That's in place. Now let's patch those holes on the top at least. I'm only doing the top on camera because I just want to show you guys what we're actually doing. Or it could be almost out of steel plates in there. That is fine too. Or it could be almost out of steel plates and almost everything. Really? Like, really? Oh, there's some more steel plates. All right. We'll patch these holes just by hand. Now, here's where I have a slightly more considered issue, which is that I don't want this thing just to be a giant slab of armor. You know, it's kind of like, whatever. That roof layer is pretty well durable. It doesn't really matter what that roof layer is armored with. Because it's not, you know, it's not like it's going to directly affect the blocks into the hull of the ship. Because if a shot comes in from the side, it's going to hit this block, right? And that block just has more armor block behind it because that's the roof of the ship. Whereas these side blocks will actually open up into the gun deck itself, which is not something I like the idea of. Crap. All right, hold on. Remember, Shift P and use your painter to repaint them. Excuse me. That should have gone away. It probably will as soon as it, you know, gets around to it. So there we go. That's nice and armored. So now I think what we'll do is we'll actually go with sloping armor block up here. And I do not know what's going to happen to the bow armor. I don't even have an idea what's going to happen to the bow armor on this thing. Oh, while I'm doing this, I should probably put the heavy armor block I'm going to put in the center of the ship as well. In those center rows. Now, I could go straight out with this. Right, I could just do another row out and armor it that way. Or I could continue the slope. And I think I'm going to continue that slope. Because it's not as critical. It's not as critical a location, right? And we do need to save some weight on this ship. Gosh, now I have to get more steel plates. And weight concerns are an issue, right? We don't have infinite weight to play with. We can't just, you know... Of course, remember how to steer, right? Get back down there. I want to hit that button. Lock in. Go into our inventory controls. Grab all the steel plates we can carry. And fly away. Oh, we still have to finish part of the top armor of the ship, too. Gosh darn. I forget, this thing eats steel. Alright, so let's get started with welding this together. There we go. And yes, I'm trying to give her something more of a rounded appearance than just a flying box. I forget how long this stuff takes to weld. Not that long, though. All things considered. And there we go. Alright, so now what are we doing? Well, let's see how we like it sloping more. Alright, so we're going to continue the slope down. I actually think I kind of like that design. I do. I think I do like that design. Alright, good. It sacrifices a little bit of the armor protection value, but on the other hand, it significantly decreases the weight and mass of the ship itself. Which is really what I'm concerned about right now, is actually the actual weight and mass of this thing. And then try to move that much mass is not going to be fun. And there we go. Now, we could have put a second gun deck in there, but, well, we're wasting a lot of space by not. So that's the main thing. We're wasting a lot of space by not putting in another gun deck. Though, this thing really is just a frigate. That's the thing. Like, I could have a whole other gun deck right here. Right in here. Behind this block. Well, that's the thing for me to decide off camera. If you guys come back and this thing has her third gun deck back, then you know what happened. Probably if I do that, what I'll do is... I'll push that armor, the roof out a little bit, and have just one slope coming down to a 3-high flat area. Which is, I think, what I might do. I might do that, yeah. Which means we're undoing everything I just did. But that's fine. Don't worry about that. That's just time that I have to spend working on it. As for the rest of it, we're going to have our engine compartment back here. Maybe some hangar bays for some drones. I really like the way this thing is looking, however. I really do. Of course, the cabling is going to be flippin' complicated. Because we're going to have here, 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 here. Yeah, so what I'll probably end up doing then is having the walking take place on top of these things, right? So you'll come along and you'll actually walk down this row on top of the gun battery. On top of the lowest set of guns. I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, guys, this has been Mr. Kasarian. I want to thank you guys for watching. It has been fun as always. I know I derped around with this thing just a little bit, but I wanted to show you guys what I was up to. So I will see you all in the next episode. And as always, happy building.